So let's talk about the 7 habits of successful content creators or just successful human beings in general. Whatever task or goal you have, if you apply these 7 habits, your chances of getting there is a lot higher. So let's just jump into the first one. You have to show up. It was Woody Allen said that 80% of success is just showing up, just being there and doing the thing that you're supposed to do. That's it, right? If you think about it, it's very logical. You're either there or you're not, right? And if you show up, most of the work is already done. So whatever task you have to do, show up. The second one, be consistent, right? Tony Robbins said that repetition is the mother of all skills, and he was right. If you do something over and over again for extended periods of time, you will see positive results for that, right? Be consistent in everything you do. And for content creation, this is especially important to build momentum, is to be there consistently, right? If you do something once, it's not going to give you the results that you want. It's like, think about going to the gym. If you want to change your body, transform your body, you can't just go once or twice. You need to go at least 5 days a week, right? Consistently for extended periods of time, months, even years, right? The third thing, have a positive mindset. Yes, I know it's a cliche, but it's a cliche for a reason, because it works. If you constantly see all the negative things in the world, well, guess what? The mind focuses on where your energy goes, right? So if you put all your energy into the negativity, that's what you're going to get. And you know as well as I do, you only have to spend like 10 minutes on social media platforms to realize that there are a lot of negativity out there. In fact, there's so much negativity out there, they give it away for free. It's everywhere, right? So keep a positive mindset, right? Maintaining a positive attitude in this roller coaster of life and business is key, right? It's very important, and that's this thing that's going to carry you through all the challenges that you're going to have to face and overcome as you build a small business, a YouTube channel, whatever it might be. You know, being cheerful in the face of adversity is very, very important. Next, you have to be committed for the long term, right? This is not a quick fix. This is not a lottery, right? If you want to build a real business, you want to change your life, then you've got to be committed, right? You can't just dabble, right? Dabbling is a big mistake. If you start a YouTube channel, or start an Instagram channel, start a online business of any sort, if you just put your toe in the water and try it out, then you're not going to make it. You need to commit and go all in. Otherwise, you're just not going to have the energy to consistently go all the way, right? So you got to be committed. And I know this is hard because in an instant gratification culture, we want things to happen quickly, right? We don't like to hear that we have to stick it out for a year, 2 years to get the results we want. We want things to happen now, and I get that, right? And sometimes things do happen quickly, like you get a lucky break, fine. If that happens, great. But for most people, that's just not the case, right? So you got to be willing to be committed for the long term, not just for a few weeks or few months. So the next thing, you got to have faith and a burning desire. Napoleon Hill, who was the author of Think and Grow Rich, he was always talking about having a burning desire and then believing in that desire. In other words, having faith that it's going to transform into reality. So this burning desire, it sounds good on paper, right? But you have to nurture it, because the human mind is a funny thing. If you don't keep it in your mind consistently, it kind of just drifts away. And like, for example, you start a YouTube channel and you were motivated, but then motivation fades and it just kind of drifts away and it never happens. That's why like 99% of people who start YouTube channels just don't make it. They never monetize their channel because they don't have that burning desire, and they don't have the faith that it's going to become true for them. So to keep this desire alive in your mind, you need to do nothing fancy, just old school reminders. Write down why you're doing this, right? What is your why? Maybe you want to move to a different country. Maybe you want to buy a new house, or you want to have a better life for your family. Whatever it might be, you have to write it down and then put it somewhere where you can see it every day, right? So maybe put it on your fridge, or put it as a screensaver in your computer, where every day you see why you're doing this, so it can like be solidified in your subconscious mind, right? You need to plant the seed in your subconscious mind of why you're doing this, and then let it grow so that you're constantly self-motivated. You don't need external motivation. You've got this internal drive that pushes you forward, plus this belief that you are going to make it, right? Call it faith, call it belief. You have to believe that it's possible for you, right? If you don't think this is possible for you, it's going to be very hard for you to go all the way. So the next thing is, you got to be willing to pay the price, right? And what I'm saying about with that is, you got to be willing to do the work. There's no such thing as just getting stuff, right? There's no magic wheel of plenty. You have to show up, do the work, and remember that anything that's worth getting is going to demand a price, right? If you want something that's going to transform your life, it's not for free. You're going to have to create value, and then in return, the universe or whatever you believe in is going to return you with that thing that you seek. But you got to be willing to pay the price and do the work, or it's not going to happen. Then next, you got to be willing to go the extra mile, right? We're all human beings. We all make mistakes. We all get a little bit lazy and tired, and we lose focus. But you got to be willing to do that extra little thing. So for example, let's say you are working a full-time job and you're supposed to make a video, but you don't feel like it, you're very tired, and you decide you're going to do it tomorrow. Instead of doing it tomorrow, do it the same day, and just make an extra video too while you're at it, right? Do that little bit extra, or make your video a little bit, the one video, just extra good, right? Make it really, really good. Just be willing to create high standards for yourself, right? Don't settle for mediocrity, because as you know, now with AI and all these things out there, mediocre content, mediocre work is just the norm, right? So if you go the extra mile with everything you do, that is integrity, right? And people will notice that if you go the extra mile with everything you do. So those are the 7 habits of successful creators. And just to add on to that, just some basic philosophical shifts that you can make is, remember that the little things you do in your business, as you're building a YouTube channel or Instagram channel, whatever online space you are busy creating, remember you need to master the mundane things, the small little things, the boring stuff, right? That's the thing that changes your life. Now, it's not fancy, it's not the stuff people want to talk about, you know, but the small things, like showing up daily and doing the little things like making a good thumbnail, researching your topics, creating outlines for your videos. Those things are boring, but those are the things that move the needle, right? And just showing up, sitting down and filming your video, that's the stuff that matters, right? Not obsessively looking at the analytics and worrying about the outputs and thinking about, will people watch this video, right? Focus on the small things, the mundane things, the boring stuff, and get it done. And remember, the little things are very easy to do. Very easy. But it's also very easy not to do, right? That's the thing about these easy things. They're easy to do, but they're very easy not to do. Just remember that. And that's why doing the easy things are so powerful, if you do them consistently over a long period of time. And lastly, focus on the process, right? The process is where the magic happens. That is how you go on to win. I know it's, sometimes difficult to forget about, monetization, making a lot of money, especially in the beginning when you're not seeing any results. You're putting in the work and it seems like nothing's happening. But focus on the process, right? If you stay consistent in the process, then you will win in the end. Remember, like I mentioned earlier, most YouTube channels that gets created never get monetized, like 99% don't. But you're only competing against the small group of people who are actually committed, who are actually doing the little things every day. Those are the people that win, and you can be one of them if you just focus and do the work. And just to finish this video, consistent daily actions always beats big inconsistent actions. So if you see a guy who he does big things every 6 months, he puts out like one video, right? The guy who puts out videos consistently 5 days a week all year, that guy's always going to beat the guy who does the big thing every 6 months. So if you show up every day for a year, you're always going to beat the guy who's inconsistent but tries to be fancy, right? So keep it simple, go the extra mile, and be consistent. Just show up daily, right? And if you do that, there's no reason why you can't be successful on this platform or any other online business. Because most of winning in business, and I figured this out with my previous business that I built and sold, is that most of the stuff is mindset. It's all in your mind, right? It's the way you think, it's the way you approach business. Everything is in your mind. Like all the things I just mentioned, like showing up every day, being consistent for long term, keeping that desire in you alive. All these things are just a way of thinking. And if you can remind yourself of these little things every day, then you can go all the way. Okay guys, I think that's enough for this video, and take some action, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.